As a young lawyer, every time I left my mentor's office, Chesterfield would remind me in a loud, booming Southern voice, "Do good!" And so began my 30-year journey with Legal Services of Miami. Whether it was raising money for the first building on Biscayne Boulevard, volunteering in clinics, encouraging my clients to join me, or working side-by-side legal services lawyer in a decade-long class action suit to reform foster care services in Florida, Legal Services has allowed me to do good. And for that, I am profoundly grateful.
Because legal services wasn't very popular then. It was not very well accepted by a lot of lawyers and a lot of judges and a lot of people in positions of influence and power in this community. And it wasn't until it continued to grow that it became the wonderful organization it is now. And so, long story short, I feel very, very good about being a part of that from way back and continuing to help it through the years I've been practicing, and then finally getting chosen by Legal Services to be one of its co-chairs in the first fundraising drive. So all that's meant a lot to me.
There's probably three reasons. The first reason is it's an amazing organization and it does amazing work in our community, and we need legal services in Miami. Second, I wanted to send a message. So when I decided that I would be one of the co-chairs, I wanted to send a message to everyone in the community that the Cuban American Bar Association supports legal services and we will work together. And number three, I wanted to support Marcia Sipin. I've joked that Marcia could run, can be the head of an organization, CEO of a Fortune 500 company. She's this incredibly capable woman who did so much good work. So for those three reasons, I wanted to be part of this organization and I wanted to help the organization.
Legal Services has been important to me because legal services itself is so important, and the ability to participate, to be a part of an organization like Legal Services that really helps the people who need it in our community. I feel like an extension of it. It makes me feel like a part of it, and I've also had the opportunity to work with the wonderful people who work there, including the lawyers, and talk to the lawyers about the day-to-day cases they have, and really learn about how important legal services is for the community.
My parents emigrated to this country with one suitcase and with hearts filled with optimism and a desire to work hard and be constructive members of our American society. When I was in middle school, my dad was a victim of a hit-and-run car accident that left him partially paralyzed for some time. And then my mom lost her job because her boss told her that she was taking too much time taking care of him. If it weren't for the fact that our family benefited from the services of free legal help, our futures would have been very different and we would have never been able to get through that very difficult time. So for me, being part of Legal Services of Greater Miami is a way to pay forward those good deeds to other hard-working families in our beloved community in South Florida.
I've always believed that the world would be a much better place if everybody found a particular niche of something that they were able to do to help other people. As a lawyer for almost 29 years, I realized that where I can make the biggest impact for others is through providing services, legal services, for those in need in the community. I looked for an organization where I can make the biggest impact about 10 years ago, and Legal Services was the one that immediately came to the forefront. I became very much involved because of the quality and impact that they were making in our community.
Well, about 10 years ago, we went through the economic crisis, and it became a perfect storm for people who were suffering, and little money was coming in to support the need to provide them with legal services. So I got involved back then in the initial Heart of Giving campaign and been involved for the last 10 years.
When we started the campaign, it was in the fall of 2008, right after the financial collapse. And Legal Services of Greater Miami, like many organizations representing the indigent, depended on interest from lawyers' trust accounts. and interest rates just collapsed during that period, and there was a real crisis in legal services at that time. And what more natural area for attorneys to get involved in than legal representation for the indigent? Who knows better than attorneys do how important legal services are and legal representation is, and how rights have to be safeguarded. And we also know from experience in legal services that a $500 security deposit, which may mean nothing to us, can mean the difference between shelter and homelessness for some people. And so it's just a very natural area to be involved in.
I have not seen another organization in Miami-Dade County in the time that I have lived here, which has been since 1977, that does so much for the community, for people truly in need. We live in a community, broad community, that has over 500,000 people who are living day to day, paycheck to paycheck, if they're lucky. We all are so fortunate that we get to come to places like this and interact with other folks who are wonderful in this community, but we drive by or fly over so many other people. And legal services makes it its mission to serve those people and their very real and vital needs. So it's a privilege to work with legal services. They are fantastic people, professionals who serve the community at the highest level with the highest level of commitment, standards, and ethics. And so I am appreciative of the opportunity to do it, and I will continue to do it.
I've been a board member for over 10 years, and I have also volunteered at the Small Claims Clinic. I've also contributed financially, as has my company Ryder, and the attorneys at Ryder have also contributed time volunteering at the Small Claims Clinic. And the value for us is that legal services is committed to supporting and building the community, and that aligns with the values of Ryder and Ryder's culture, which has always been to build our communities and provide social, financial, and other support where needed. And personally, I've always been an advocate at heart and a lawyer by profession, and to have the opportunity to use those skills to support the community and a organization like Legal Services is very meaningful to me and satisfying.